Here's an actionable step-by-step 3-phase blueprint of a plan on exactly how to fix your life, how to get your shit together, live the life that you were meant to live. If you've hit rock bottom, if you've had a lot of crap happen to you, you don't know where to start, what to do, you don't know where your purpose is, this is a great place to start because I'm going to share with you a system on how to improve and fix your life from the ground up. So no matter what direction or where you want to go, you're going to have so much clarity and unstoppable momentum to achieve everything you want with ease. Let's get right into it. Phase 1 is going to take up the first 7 days of your program, and the first 7 days is all about awareness and understanding what are the bad habits you have in your life. 95% of what we think, feel, and do all comes down to habits, so it makes sense that a lot of them are subconscious and we don't even realize what we're doing in them when we're doing them. The 1% of the world who we aspire to be like, they have totally different habits than the rest of us, because back to what I said earlier, most of what we do every single day comes down to habits. The first step is to write down all the obvious bad habits that you're doing. Maybe you're addicted to video games, maybe you sleep until 2 p.m. every single day. Once again, don't feel guilty, don't judge yourself. Just write down every single habit that you have that you know is bad for you on a sheet of paper, and then list them out in order of priority to know that if I made the biggest difference in my life, which ones I should change. The second step is a bit more difficult, but is to realize the unconscious habits that you're doing every single day that are holding you back that you don't realize it. It's difficult because they're subconscious. You don't even know that you're doing them. And one of the biggest strategies that's helped me and changed my life forever is what I'm going to share with you for step 2. That is to create a spreadsheet or a timetable with 30-minute intervals from the time you wake up to the time you sleep. And mark down every single 30 minutes, what are you doing in that block? Oftentimes we don't even realize where the time goes, right? We go to bed, we're busy being busy all day, spinning the wheel is not moving anywhere closer towards our goals, but we're still exhausted and we're like, crap, what did I even do today? I'm so tired. The fact of the matter is you probably didn't do anything. You weren't even that productive. You don't even know how much time you spend on social media. Maybe you're just walking around doing bullshit activities and you realize that wasn't having any benefit to you. So by isolating every 30-minute intervals, you're able to take a step back and get a big picture, a bird's eye view of what is really going on. Where is my time going? What is my time spending? And you'll start to uncover the bad habits that actually I grab my phone every time I do XYZ. I do this instead, or I do that instead. I will constantly go to grab a cup of coffee, which is taking 30 minutes of my time every single morning, but I actually don't need one because I can make it downstairs. This is a waste of time. Whatever these are, identify what are these habits that you have that are really poor for you and working against you, and this will give you that isolation exercise you need to really identify what you can change and tweak, and circle at least 3 habits that are subconscious that you want to change as well, and add it to your original list of the big habits that you know that are obvious that you're doing that are definitely detrimental to you. Now these 2 exercises should take no more than 2 days of your 7-day program, and I want you to spend the next 5 days working your hardest to not do the activity in the first place. That doesn't mean I expect you to be perfect and stop all your bad habits within just a week, but by doing this exercise and being intentionally aware and crafting the life you want to live and visualizing the best version of yourself, you will have a lot higher chance of success in stopping these bad habits. I want you to use your willpower because it's going to be the highest right now when you're starting this program, but really try your best to replace these bad habits with good habits. What are these good habits, you might ask? Well, that's phase 2, and let's get right into that. Phase 2 is going to take the next 2 weeks of your program, 14 days, and over here we're going to install and create a lifestyle of some of the best habits that you possibly can. We've already identified the bad habits that are in your life and how to remove them. Now we're going to incorporate better habits to take its place, and this is going to be an absolutely transformative process that's going to take you from where you are right now into improving your life in a way that you never even thought was imaginably possible. Now that you've realized and try to stop the bad habits in week 1, the first day of week 2, identify 3 keystone habits that will move the needle forward. A keystone habit is a habit that makes all the other habits easier. For example, if I choose to incorporate a habit of working out, I also, by nature of working out, try to eat healthier. I have better mental health. I obviously have better physical health. I have more routine and structure in my day. Though I'm incorporating one habit, there's a slew of other positive benefits that are happening because of this one habit. So identify 3 keystone habits that you want to incorporate in your life that will make the biggest difference. Maybe you know them internally, intrinsically or not. Do some research and Googling around. The big 3 that helped me change my life forever was exercising, reading, and meditating. For you, find whatever those 3 keystone habits are and then write them on a piece of paper and then lock them in day 1. Now I want you to take these 3 habits and run them through this formula. BJ Fogg, in his book Tiny Habits, he's the foremost behavioral change, science on habits professor in Stanford, and he's the one who pretty much invented the space. Atomic Habits, Many Habits, Super Habits, all these books not copied, but took inspiration from this guy. He has this amazing formula, BMAP, B equals MAP. which is behavior. Any behavior we do ever in the world, if it's good or bad, it happens when motivation times ability, your ability to do the activity, times prompt all meet. So I want you to run through these habits and see, when does all those three happen? For example, motivation. Am I motivated to do the habit? If it's no, then you're never going to do it. Ability. How's my ability? Let's say I want, one of my keystone habits is I want to do like figure skating. If my ability is 0, I'm probably not going to do the habit, right? And then prompt. This one is really big in removing negative habits, actually, because I've noticed if I remove the prompt, for example, if I don't want to eat a cookie, don't keep a cookie in the kitchen. By removing the prompt or adding a prompt, it's really easy to do a habit and make it sustainable and sticky. So take your 3 keystone habits and try running them through the formula in order to make them actually succeed. And the way we're going to do that is making them as tiny and simple and as easy as possible in order to be so stupid simple that's almost impossible not to do. For example, when I started my meditation habit, I didn't start at like 10-15 minutes a day. I started not even at 1 minute a day. And BJ Fogg, actually in his book, he was like, I started at 3 breaths a day. That's what he said. So I did the same exact thing. Motivation. 3 breaths is so easy to do. It takes almost no motivation at all. Ability, anyone can do 3 breaths. And prompt, what I did was I made sure every time I shower, right after showering, I would sit on my bed and do 3 breaths meditation. So find your tiny habits and incorporate them into this BMAP formula and run them through the formula of these keystone habits and see how we can make them as tiny as possible and be successful as possible so that there's no way you can possibly fail. For the first week, I want you to start executing these tiny habits. And I want you to keep almost like a ceiling. Like, what does an ideal version of this habit look like, right? Because right now, this is just a tiny version of it. But let's say you wanted to start a habit of working out or going on a run every single morning. Your tiny habit could be, I just wake up, put my shoes on, and tie my shoelaces, right? That could be the tiny habit, and you give yourself a big cheers because that was the tiny habit succeeding. A vision could be, I want to be able to go on a 25-minute, 30-minute run every single morning. Now, we're not going to do that yet, but I want you to still treat the tiny habit as almost if you did that 30-minute run in the first place. Celebrating is one of the most impactful and powerful things we can do to rewire our neural pathways in order to create neuroplasticity, which makes things easier to make habits happen. It makes almost hard work feel better. And the way to do that is by celebrating, because that releases dopamine hits in your mind that, oh shit, this is actually kind of fun. He's really excited for the fact he put his shoes on. We should do this more often. A lot of people get this wrong. They say you need to do rewards or you need to treat yourself to a piece of chocolate after a 30-minute run. But that's a bit outdated science. Celebrating is where it's really at in order to get you really excited and really rewire those pathways in order to make yourself want to do the habit in the first place. So every single time, even if you're just putting on shoes, even if it's doing 3 breaths, succeeding your tiny habit, I want you to treat it like you did your visualization of a big habit and celebrate. Do a fist pump, cheers, practice celebrating. I mean, it feels really awkward at first, right? But you got to try. Like for me, it's like listening to the Rocky theme song and going up like this. So do whatever it takes to celebrate that tiny habit because you did succeed. And then moving forward, we're going to actually show you how to scale it and make it a part of your life the exact way you want it to. So week 2 of phase 2, your final week, we're going to take these tiny habits and start to scale them to make them bigger into the habit that you actually want to be doing every single day. Now, this doesn't mean if your habit was to put on shoes, I'm going to want you to run a marathon this week. Imagine there's like a dial from 1 to 10, right? 1 is the tiny habit, 10 on 10 is exactly what you want it to be. Let's say you want to run 30 minutes every morning, a 10-minute meditation. Right now, you're just doing 3 breaths. I want you to just turn it up 1 notch. If you were just putting your shoes on, and I want you to actually go out, walk for 1 minute, come back and celebrate. You know, just dial it up 1 notch. Do this for all the 3 keystone habits that you've set out for yourself and do it for the whole week, turning it up 1 notch. One of the toughest parts to do is just to stay consistent, and this is what's going to help you do, because by ingraining this habit, by celebrating the small wins, you're going to be able to feel happy doing these habits, and that's the step 1 of behavior change to actually enjoy what you're doing. Oftentimes we have this bedrock in our society, right, that if we just try harder, we have to succeed, right? And if I don't succeed, it's because I just wasn't strong enough or powerful enough, or I didn't have the willpower to succeed enough. But that's all wrong. Oftentimes the reason you can't change is not because you're the fault. It's because your design is the problem, or your behavior solution is the problem. And that's what I'm trying to fix here for you guys. You're not a weak person or a bad person because you couldn't run a marathon every morning. Your approach to change is wrong. So every time you make a mistake, let's say these negative habits that we try to get rid of week 1, I still expect you to once in a while make a mistake, right? I don't want you to take a hammer and beat yourself up about it. Instead, I want you to hand you a flashlight, a tool that I want you to take an inspectful look at what's going on. Put a scientific coat jacket and say, what went wrong? Why did that happen? And ask yourself the question why. For example, let's say you snooze your alarm one morning, right? Don't take a hammer and beat yourself up like everyone usually does. Instead, all right, I woke up late, put the jacket on, take your flashlight. Why did I wake up late? What went wrong? What can I do to make sure this doesn't happen again? Oh, maybe it's because I went to bed late at night, or maybe I did this instead late at night. And then you're gonna start to learn from your mistakes and do this over time. And over time, this is gonna compound. Be inquisitive, be a scientist about your life and how to improve it. And really realize it's not your fault, man. It's really not your fault. It's the habits that you've accumulated over life that you can change, and you can really mold your life into whatever you want it to be. And you have the power to really do that. And that's what week 2 is all about. Taking these small habits, turning up the dial, these negative habits, if they do appear, asking yourself why instead of beating yourself up, in order to actually get over these habits for once and for all, and then moving on with your life into phase 3. Phase 3 is gonna be your last and 4th week of the program on how to fix your life in 30 days. And this one is more of a mindset shift than anything else. And that is, change comes from consistency, not intensity. So all I want you to do is then take these 3 keystone habits and then dial up the notch a bit more, and then be more self-aware of when these bad habits come in the first place, putting that scientist jacket on and saying what went wrong and why it happened so you don't do it again. See, a lot of people have this wrong, right? We really feel that, you know, we have to get abs in 6 minutes. You know, we have to make $1 million in 3 months. But the daily micro wins is what creates a tsunami of mastery over time. It's not about having a burst of success. It's not about, oh, I meditated 30 minutes for 3 days and never doing it again. It's all about the 1% wins, getting 1% better every single day, so that when you look back, you have the art of day stacking working in favor for you. Great mornings lead to great days lead to great weeks lead to great months, and great months lead to great years. So when you look back and you notice you've had 6 great years and you're in shape and you're wealthy and you're healthy and you're happy, it didn't happen because you got 6-pack abs in 6 minutes. It's because you cultivated these small, tiny micro habits, these keystone habits, by avoiding the bad ones, incorporating the good ones, and then putting them on a timeline, and then doing consistently over time for as many months, days, years as it took, because you're playing the infinite game. You're not in this just to win it for 1 month. You can't win at being healthy. You can't win at being rich. You can only win by being in the infinite game, which is being better than what you were yesterday. And just that's all it takes, is to be 1% better. I kind of lied. There's no week 4. Week 4 is just the rest of your life. And you're just gonna keep turning up that notch, incorporating new habits, removing the bad habits, and then consistently applying the techniques you learned in this video over and over again until you succeed. So hopefully you guys got some value or insight from this video and that you can take into your life. As an exercise that I think will really help you is, go ahead in the comments, let me know what are your 3 keystone habits and the 3 habits that you're gonna get rid of from your life that are negative and holding you back. This will be an opportunity to be holding yourself accountable and letting the world know, maybe building a community in the comments of people that want to help you and support you on your goals. So by commenting below, you're physically creating an action in the universe that makes you hold yourself accountable. And listen, if you don't, that's on you, but this is one step towards the direction of making you be a man or woman of your word. Let me know if you guys like this video. Leave a like down below. This lets me know that you want more videos like this. Follow me on social at Sid Chawla on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and keep the notification bells on, because I'm going to be posting out 3 videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every single week. Appreciate you all. Love you all. See you all in the next one.